So you have, you have been born and brought up in India, and you have studied here till your undergrad. And although you have spent, more than 30 years in the US, but when I met you for the first time in Bhopal, I was very impressed because I could see that you are very much in touch with India. Because to be frank, I was expecting you to have an American accent, but you didn't, which I really liked. So you have been in, very deeply connected to your roots, so to say. And you have also invested a lot in many Indian companies, as you said, 60 companies overall. But you know, being connected with India and starting an initiative in India are two very different things. Like being in America, many people are connected to their families, to their friends and companies. But starting a new organization gives a completely different perspective and a completely different experience that just being connected with the country does not give. So I would like to know, in what way has, your view about India and your view about education evolved during your journey through Sitare Foundation or Sitare University?
That's a deep question, and I would frankly answer that when most of us from the West walk into India, we walk in with several assumptions. And you've heard these assumptions. Even we Indians living in India make these assumptions, like the government isn't doing a great job. That's the first thing you would hear for education. Or it is very hard to work in India. That's another assumption that most Westerners make. And I would say that many of my assumptions have been proven wrong. Let's imagine the entire country of United States, if it were of school age, how would the US education system work? India has over 300 million young students who should be in some kind of a school, be it from kindergarten all the way to university. Just the sheer load of the number of people that you have to educate will bring down any system, be it the United States, pick any Western country. On the other hand, India has done a very good job still educating its youth, especially at the college level. So that first assumption that the government is inefficient in imparting education was broken because I saw the sheer size of the problem. And I'm like, if I was put in charge of this size of a problem, what would I do? And believe me, most Westerners, myself included, would be at a loss. So it's very easy to blame the government, but trying to swap places with whoever is in charge and saying, how are you going to educate 350 million youth? It's a much harder problem. And I'm a practitioner. I'm like, if I don't have a great idea, I should shut up. That was the one myth that was shattered for me right away. The other part of it being hard to work in India has also been a shattered myth, because we have been able to work in India, build an entire university with very well-meaning leaders, both bureaucrats and from political parties. Everyone is well-meaning. People want to do good for the country. People who are running the country want to do good for the country. However, you have to walk in with a pure heart and ask for help, and they will help you. There is There are challenges, but there are challenges everywhere. There are challenges in India as well. I'm not saying that everything is 100% smooth. But in all, when you walk in with a pure heart and talk to people who are running the administration, they are very willing to help you. And so those are the two key things I could say I have experienced over the last 7 years of work running Sitare Foundation and Sitare University for bright underprivileged students in India.